Hi YouTube. I hope you all have had a fabulous Labor Day weekend. I was off gallivanting from Friday until yesterday with a little short trip up to Montreal and back to meet an old friend. And we did a lot of walking and a lot of fabulous dining. We tried to take a bus tour of the city on Sunday, and we signed up for a 1 o'clock tour. And the site said that you had to be ready by 12:30, and the driver showed up at 20 after 12, and we were at the door, and he turned around and left. So instead, we went on a walking tour, and we'd already been by Notre Dame, the Basilica, and we thought we'd go by again and see. We were really close to that, and to go in and see the Basilica. It's really beautiful from the outside. I'm sure it's more beautiful on the inside. I once got to view a concert, not live, but on YouTube, of Pavarotti singing in that cathedral, and it was fabulous. But the lines were a mile long, and it was their 3-day weekend also. Apparently they have a sort of Labor Day too. So we went by and walked down. We wanted to find out where the Montreal Fetish Festival was being held. And we walked all the way over there, and then we went inside and saw some of the people in some of the crazy get-ups that they had on, and they had a little bit of merchandise out for sale. But believe it or not, it was smaller than FetCon at St. Petersburg. That was earlier this month that I went to. And then we just kept walking and walking and walking, walked right into sort of the shopping district where the cars are just cut right off and everybody could walk in right out and have lunch, and then walk some more and walk some more. And it's beautiful because there's contemporary architecture, and there is old Montreal with all that history. It's just beautiful. Friday night we had dinner in old Montreal in the Hotel Bonaparte, and I have to say it's one of the finest meals I've had in a long time. If you want to go on my Twitter page, I'll put the link below for you. You can see some of the photos from Montreal, and it was just wonderful. So by the time I got through walking through the Montreal airport on Friday late morning, it seemed like it was miles to get through customs. And then out again, and then walked around old Montreal that afternoon just to kind of get the lay of the land. I had been there before. One of, not my last, but I think it was 2013. I had a photo shoot in old Montreal in one of the historic hotels. Unfortunately, it's since converted into contemporary furnishings, but at that time it had been all French. Just beautiful. And wanted to get the lay of the land and see where I was in regards to a hotel, and it turned out the hotel was really close to old Montreal and a lot of the things that we wanted to see. So fabulous dinner that night, and the next day we were hoping to go on that bus tour, but little voice in my head said just wasn't meant to be. So we had kind of a nice relaxing day with that long walk, and I added it up in my mind, and I think probably walked about 6 miles between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and my feet hurt. My poor little tootsies were so sore. He had to leave early for California in the morning, and then I had a flight that wasn't until 12:35. So it was a great weekend. And that Saturday night, we went to a sushi restaurant that was fairly close to the Basilica. TKO is how it looked pronounced, but it's Kyo. It was excellent. Some of the best sushi that I've ever enjoyed. So back Friday through Atlanta. And thankfully I used to live in Atlanta, so I knew the airport, but that is so overwhelming. Had an early dinner at the Atlanta airport and then got home last week. last evening. So I'm just in a leather mood today. I don't know why. I wore some up there in Montreal, but the temperatures were in the 70s and low 80s, so you really could be dressed fairly lightly. You really didn't even need a jacket. So I have on a leather ruched midi skirt and thigh-high boots underneath here. Yeah, I know, not much is hanging out. It's going to be interesting to see how many of you watch this since I have a lot of clothes on. You guys are so predictable, but that's okay. I love you anyway. And then I have on a bullet bra underneath. And I'm not going to open the jacket. I'm just going to describe it. It's old-fashioned, kind of old Hollywood. And the stitching went all the way around the cup, and then the ends were very pointed. So that was a lot of fun. And if you want, I'm going to take some photos after I get through with this, and they will be on my OnlyFans. And I'll leave that link below also. And then I topped it with a leather blazer that I bought last year and never wore. It was just, Florida isn't conducive to anything this warm. Even sometimes in the winter, you have a few days that you can dress like this. So that was it for my weekend. Have a really, really busy week this week. And I will be back Thursday afternoon with the cocktail series. We actually had a Negroni the other night at the Hotel Bonaparte. It was excellent. And he had, this is what it probably will make. It's called a Vesper. And it is a martini, and it's 2 parts gin, 1 part vodka, and then a very special, different vermouth that I'm gonna have to do a search for with a lemon peel. Very different and very nice. So we'll give that a shot, okay? Get your martini glasses all chilled in your freezer, and maybe we could make one together. How about that? I'm telling you what you're gonna need for it. So if you don't have the other special vermouth, which I could not catch the name of it because there was, our server had, obviously he was from Montreal, his accent was very French. And I found myself at sometimes going, what? Excuse me? Because I don't speak any more than maybe 8 words of French. I did use them though. So anyway, I will see you again on Thursday. I hope you have a fabulous week. Love you. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that little bell so that you can be notified when a new post goes up. Take care of yourself. Be kind to each other. Namaste, my friends.